I think the biggest impact for us, we had 0 tardies after lunch. And again, I mean, that's the big thing for us. The students hated Minga at first because they're like, oh, I'm getting tardies. But now they love it because they're also getting PBIS points off of it. And so that's one of the things that we see with the students is that, you know, they hate the tardy side of things, but they're being held accountable.
So we were missing that student accountability piece, and it just became a overwhelming, like everyone was saying, daily headache. We had kids who just didn't see the value in being in class on time. They didn't see the consequences. They didn't understand what was happening. So moving over to Minga really allowed us to put everything into one place. And now students can see, oh, I have X number of tardies, I have X number of detentions, and they know where to look, which is really helping us to create more accountability across the board.
The system that we were using at that time was a Google Sheet, which really wasn't the most efficient to be able to try to track them and be able to catch them for their tardies. Now we're able to really go through every single class period and really work on that side of it itself. So that's helped out a lot. So the teachers get frustrated because they started their lesson and here a kid comes in and they're having to re-explain their instructions on the lesson. And so that was the major problems that we were having in just getting kids into the classroom.
Teachers had to keep track of how many tardies the kid had coming to their class, and it was per teacher. So a kid was maybe racking up tardies all across the building, but they didn't get notified, like we didn't get notified as administrators until they had gotten 3 tardies for a teacher. So they may have had 2 tardies to first period or second period, but then had 2 other tardies to third period. But we weren't getting notified until they got 3 tardies to a specific teacher. And so that was really a lot of tardies. So when we were looking for hall pass solutions, obviously tardies was something that Minga did. And so when we started doing that, it took that off their plates because all they had to do was mark it in Minga. And then we are notified when they got 3 tardies. So obviously we had kids who got tardies the very first day because I'm tardy to second period, I'm tardy to fourth period, and I was tardy to sixth period. So the kids got, you know, they were getting caught a whole lot quicker, but the teachers really appreciated it because now it's off their plate and it just managed that for them and all they had to do was mark it. And we kind of knew it was a big deal for them because when we did our next teacher survey after we started using Minga, the biggest takeaway was we really appreciate Minga for tardies.
That was kind of our aha. It was just be able to sit there as an assistant principal. I saw the number of students that were tardy every single day, and my goal was to fix it. I was going to do everything I could to fix it. Again, just like you said at the beginning, we're not really fixing it, but we are slowing the numbers down, and that's what we definitely have done on our campus.
And now one of our primary uses is we are holding our student athletes accountable. If you're late to class and you're on what we call our no activities list, you have to serve your detentions before you're eligible again. And it's helping get those students who are wanting to do all the extracurriculars. Well, you have to be a student first.
We have it automated to set up that once they reach 3 tardies to class, then our administrators, we all get an email. And once we get that email, then we follow whatever our policy is for our consequences. And so like now that we're managing it with Minga, you know, I think that's kind of the part where we are. And I think the teachers are appreciating that because they just mark it and then it's off their plate and they do that. And so it's worked really well.
I would say one of the biggest impacts for us is that students now can look at that data for themselves. Whereas before they were having to go into their Aries, see how many tardies they have, but sometimes teachers aren't putting all those in Minga. So looking at Aries isn't necessarily the same number. Or with our old system, even teachers couldn't really look to see how many consequences a student had. Now with Minga, any teacher can look and see, oh, yes or no, you're on the no activity list. This is how many consequences you have. Students can look and see, and it just makes the whole process a lot more streamlined.
Once they get inside, every teacher has a Minga station set up inside of their classroom. And so during normal classes, so second through fourth period, they actually will get their tardies through their teacher. And then at lunchtime, we do the same thing. We stand out there, we welcome them back, we scan them in. And I think the biggest impact for us, and this is last year, we had an aha, and that was we had 0 tardies after lunch. And again, I mean, that's a big thing for us. I think we save a lot of time. I can't tell you the exact amount of number, but every 6 weeks we clear it back out and we restart for every 6 weeks because we're on a 6 week grading cycle, and that helps them out on that part too. But the automation has made their lives a whole lot easier.
And it's just so quick, and because it's so user friendly, it's not hard to use. The reports are so easy. It's just super quick for them, not just teachers. It saves teachers time, but it also saves them time. And they can do tardies it's so quick. It's just so much quicker than the process before. Because tardies to school was just another huge piece. And so we have someone stationed there that's catching tardies. We have a ton of tardies to school this year because there's someone catching them as they're coming in the building. But I think it's been a huge piece the last couple of years that teachers have really appreciated.
And I think that's the one thing when we started looking at this and building it, is we really were looking at what is a way that we can hold all students accountable and be able to work that system itself. So.